Hello, I'm Joe Hoover from the Minnesota Historical Society, and I serve on the American Association for State and Local History's National Awards Committee. And as the Region 9 representative representing the states of Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin, I am pleased to present the 2020 Leadership in History Awards for this region. The following Minnesota organizations received the American Association for State and Local History's Award of Excellence. First up from Minnesota, the Golden Valley Historical Society for their exhibit, No Place Like Home. This exhibit on Golden Valley's past provides visitors with a nuanced history of the inner ring suburb that hits the familiar topics of civic organizations, community institutions, housing development, and community festivals. However, it takes a critical look at the city's successes and failures on the topic of social justice. The exhibit succeeds in making this history accessible through the use of language in its graphic layout. The language is consistently simple in its structure. The exhibit layout allows visitors to pick and choose themes or to digest the exhibit as a whole. The next award winner is the Shakopee Mdewakanton Sioux community for their exhibit, Mdewakanton, Dwellers of the Spirit Lake. This exhibition succeeds by making sensitive use of archival materials to create a microhistory of difficult events experienced as past lived by actual people. It embraces Dakota values in its sunwise circulation pattern, reliance on oral tradition offered in a multi-voiced way, and the use of Dakota language in both text and audio. It presents stunning objects, well interpreted from Shakopee Mdewakanton Sioux community's own collections and on loan from the National Museum of the American Indian. The next award winner is the St. Paul Saints baseball team for their project, City of Baseball Museum. This museum takes a linear path through time from the early days of Sandlot and club baseball to the present-day big leagues. A clever and useful floor map of early 20th century St. Paul helps to organize the narrative and direct visitors within the space. The floor map identifies historic neighborhood ball fields and the homes of famous players. Lines radiate from these three featured neighborhoods and direct visitors to exhibit areas where they can take a closer look at neighborhood teams, their rivalries, and their stars. And the last award winner from Minnesota is the West Central Minnesota Historical Association for their traveling exhibit, How the Great War Hit Home in West Central Minnesota, World War I. A network of local history organizations from 10 communities used the recent anniversary of World War I to come together and collaborate on researching, writing, and construction of a traveling exhibit on the Great War. With relevant content to its local visitors, the exhibition wisely treats the war's conflicts in a macro sense. The exhibit keeps to the thematic concepts on how individuals interacted with the war. This style of interpretation made it relatively easy for a visitor to find something in the exhibit that they can identify with. The objects and photos used in this exhibit were selected from a deep pool of locally held collections and artifacts. Each of the 15 different museums from a 10-county area provided their best hand-chosen sources using first-hand accounts of the war assembled from diaries, letters, and photographs. The following Wisconsin organization received the American Association for State and Local History's Award of Excellence. The Wisconsin Farmers Oral History Project, a collaboration of several universities in the University of Wisconsin system, including Whitewater, Oshkosh, Madison, and Milwaukee, for the special projects, The Lands We Share Traveling Exhibition and Public Dialogue Tour. As part of a diverse, state-of-the-art public history project, the traveling exhibit grew out of an oral history project. The goal of this oral history project was to explore how culture, race, and ethnicity have shaped the historic and present Wisconsin's farming and food production and land use. Students and faculty from all 4 campuses sought out a wide range of narrators, hoping to gather interviews that reflected the ethnic and racial diversity of Wisconsin's farmers. The exhibit component seeks to explore the history and diversity of Wisconsin farm life through a close investigation of 5 enterprises. First, an urban garden in Milwaukee's predominantly African-American Metcalf Park. Second, the Allen family farm, a long-standing enterprise owned by white settlers but worked mostly by Mexican and Hmong laborers. Third, the Oneida Nations Farm. Fourth, an organic farm owned and operated by Hmong immigrants. And fifth, the Dietman Dairy Farms in Johnson Creek. This framed 5 different cultural and historical perspectives on land use presented in parallel with attention to their commonalities and distinctiveness is the exhibit's deceptively simple argument. There have always been many ways to farm the lands we share, rooted in the desperate and sometimes conflicting histories of farming people who have called Wisconsin home. From Woodlake Nature Center in Richfield, Minnesota, congratulations to the winners of the 2020 American Association for State and Local Histories Award of Excellence.